Chairman Rick Johnson,
Here.
David LaMontagne,
Here.
Vivian Picard, not present. Nicole Cover.
Here.
Donald Bailey.
Here.
Chairman Johnson, you have a quorum.
Thank you. Public comment reminder, just to, again, remind everyone you have 2 minutes. Please keep it away from applications. But we actually, and I do anyway, I welcome your input. Always pick up something during public comment, and thank you for that. Approval of the agenda. Members have any changes, improvements, or status quo? Okay.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, moved and supported to approve the agenda. No discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
David LaMontagne.
Yes.
Nicole Cover.
Yes.
Donald Bailey.
Yes.
Chairman Rick Johnson.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay, we have 2 sets of minutes. We'll do October 18th first. If you've all had time to look at them, anyone wish to make a motion?
Motion approved, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
It's been moved and supported to approve the October 18th, 2018 minutes. No discussion? Please call the roll.
David LaMontagne.
Yes.
Nicole Cover.
Yes.
Donald Bailey.
Yes.
Chairman Rick Johnson.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay, October 29th, 2018 meeting minutes.
Motion to approve.
Support.
Moved and supported to approve October 29th, 2018 meeting minutes. Hearing no discussion, please call the roll.
David LaMontagne.
Yes.
Nicole Cover.
Yes.
Donald Bailey.
Yes.
Chairman Rick Johnson.
Yes,
Motion passes.
thank you. Old business, we have under A, board scheduling availability. I don't know if all the members, if you've had time to input that to Kelly or not, but
Everyone but Vivian's has been submitted.
oh, do we need a motion for that, right? To approve the meeting dates once we get them set? Correct?
Yes.
Yep, okay. And did you want that motion today?
Possible if you would like to. It's here and come back to it
Okay.
once she's here.
Right, no, I didn't intend on moving on it until she gets here, but my question is, and you want some type of approval today?
Ideally, yes.
Okay, got it. Wishes of the board, do you want to
Motion
pause?
to table.
Okay, is there support for that?
Sorry.
The motion is to table,
Yes.
Old business.
Support.
moved and supported, all in favor of tabling the board scheduling till board member Picard gets here, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion has passed. We will get to that later in the meeting. My question to board members, do you want to get started? Or do you want to wait?
Rock it out.
Rock it on? We'll rock it on. New business. Under A, pre-qualification applications, number 1 is DCAD LLC for a pre-qual only, is that correct?
Correct.
Wishes of the board.
Chairman, I'll make the motion to approve the pre-qualification status.
Second.
Second. Moved and supported to pre-qualify DCAD pre-qualification. Open for discussion. No discussion? If not, hearing none, then please call the roll.
David LaMontagne,
Yes.
Nicole Cover,
Yes.
Donald Bailey,
Yes.
Chairman Rick Johnson.
No.
Chairman Johnson, you have 3 yeses, 1 no. Motion passes.
Okay, thank you. Applicant number 2, Great Lakes Property Investors. Wishes of the board. The chairman will move to grant Great Lakes Property Investors LLC a pre-qualification status. Is there support?
Second.
There is support. Any discussion? Well, I told Vivian I'd drag my feet, but my gosh, we'll be done before she gets here. We go ahead and call a roll. There's no discussion.
David LaMontagne,
Yes.
Nicole Cover,
Yes.
Donald Bailey,
Yes.
Chairman Rick Johnson.
Yes,
Chairman Johnson, you have 4 yeses. Motion passes.
thanks. Applicant number 3, MPM-C Marshall LLC. They have multiple applications up. My question to the Attorney General, can we group them into like provisioning, grow, process? Can we group them all in one?
Items 3 through 5, I believe, are all the same supplemental applicants. So I would suggest starting with those as a group, and those are the 3 growers. And then moving on to the next group, which is provisioning centers. Again, assuming you have the same motion on all of them, you can group them that way. But I would start again with 3 through 5, which are the same supplemental applicants for a grower class C.
Okay, thank you. Wishes of the board.
I'll make the motion, Mr. Chairman. Pre-qualification, 3, 4, and 5 agenda items.
Is there support?
Support.
Moved and supported to approve 3, which is MPM-C Marshall LLC, 4, which is MPM-C Detroit LLC, and 5, MPM-C Hazel Park LLC. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. Call a roll.
David LaMontagne,
Yes.
Nicole Cover,
Yes.
Donald Bailey,
Yes.
Chairman Rick Johnson.
Yes,
Chairman Johnson, you have 4 yeses. Motion passes.
thank you. Okay, same question to the Attorney General on MPMR Hazel Park number 6.
I believe 6 through 14 are all the same supplemental applicants and all for provisioning centers. So 6 through 14 would be appropriate to group if you have the same motion on those.
Okay, thank you. Wishes?
Mr. Chairman, I motion to pre-qualify applications 6 through 14 for the MPM group regarding provisioning centers, that they have pre-qualification status for a pending application.
Is there support? Moved and supported to approve applicant MPM-R for number 6 through 14. Do you need me to read all of them? I'm looking at the Attorney General.
I don't think that's necessary. Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you. Any discussion on 6 through 14? Hearing none, call the roll.
David LaMontagne,
Yes.
Nicole Cover,
Yes.
Donald Bailey,
Yes.
Chairman Rick Johnson.
Yes,
Chairman Johnson, you have 4 yeses. Motion passes.
thank you. Okay, Gonna keep caught up here.
And items 15 through 16, I will point out are, again, the same supplemental applicants. These are MPMP for processing licenses, if you wish to group those together as well.
Okay,
Mr. Chairman, I'll make that motion, 15 and 16, of that pre-qualification status.
Second.
moved and supported to approve number 15 MPM-P Hazel Park, number 16 MPM-P Marshall LLCs. Any discussion? Hearing none, please call roll.
David LaMontagne,
Yes.
Nicole Cover,
Yes.
Donald Bailey,
Yes.
Chairman Rick Johnson.
Yes,
Chairman Johnson, you have 4 yeses, motion passes.
thank you. I would just say one thing to, on all these. I notice there's some locations here that have not yet, the local unit hopped in, so I assume that's something that Chris will deal with for step 2.
Absolutely. They'll have to have approval on step 2 from the municipality.
Okay, thank you. Number 17, R-PTN Haltner LLC.
Sorry, Mr. Chairman, if I could point out, RPT in River Rouge was previously pre-qualified by the board that contained one sole member, which is the sole member of RPTN LLC and the individual RM. I just wanted to point that out to the board, but this would be a new pre-qualification for this entity.
Okay. Any direction from board members?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to discuss this application.
Is there support?
Second.
Moved and supported to discuss applicant R-PTN Haltner LLC. Open for discussion. Oh, excuse me. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Say no, the same. Hearing none, go ahead. Let's start. Who's first?
Mr. Chairman, regarding this application that did come before us as another entity, one of the applicants, there were 4 undisclosed criminal arrests. There was an undisclosed civil litigation, only disclosed after Lara confronted them with the discovery. There was an IRS lien that was undisclosed, and that's all regarding applicant RM. And regarding the supplemental applicant on this, LR, an out-of-state investor, there seems to be an awful lot of money that was very difficult for them to provide explanations for large sums of money in and out of the accounts. It just didn't make sense to me. And I think I still hold the concerns that this was a pre-operating operation that was making an incredible amount of money under the old caregiver system where they were not allowed to make any money. And that's a concern to me. This has been an operation as to the applicant RM at his illegal dispensary since 2014. Well, I guess I don't have the date in my notes. It was a different date. For some time before it was legal.
I have a question, Chris. The non-disclosures, they were not vehicle related, or?
I do not have that. They didn't include that in the report. I believe they were traffic related, but Mr. Bailey may know.
I didn't make a note of what they were.
I actually believe a couple of them were not, but
I wouldn't have made the note if they were simply traffic violations.
that's what I have. I just wanted to ask that question. Any other questions?
So point of clarification here. So applicant RM is passed muster once.
Correct.
This is back before us because of the supplement applicant.
Correct.
RLR, who's
It's a new entity.
understood, passed muster with the department.
Yes. Yes, and we do not do a second supplemental application. If someone is in multiple entities, this is the same information that would have been presented on this individual the first time.
And that would be with the addition of the information on
Correct,
LM.
correct.
Any more discussion? Hearing none, we're open for a motion then to, we'll close discussion and look for motion to approve, deny, whatever the wishes are.
I'll make a motion, Mr. Chairman, they have pre-qualification status.
It's been moved. Is there support?
Second.
Moved and support. Supported to give R-PTN qualification status. Any more discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
David LaMontagne,
Yes.
Nicole Cover,
Yes.
Donald Bailey,
No.
Chairman Rick Johnson.
Yes.
Chairman Johnson, you have 3 yeses, 1 no. Motion passes.
Number 18. Shakri, am I saying that right?
Is this good as mine?
Okay.
Shkreli is what, as how we
Shkreli?
pronounce it.
Family Incorporated, number 18. Comments, wishes?
Probably come up with a cool name. Like Happy Camper or whatever.
Yeah. Or,
That's taken though.
I had one, I forget what that one was I liked so much. You Demand. Got it? Okay,
We're still waiting on a motion.
yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that Skrelly Family Incorporated has pre-qualification status for a state operating license.
Is there support?
Yes, I'll support it.
It's been moved and supported to approve applicant 18 is Shirelli Family Incorporated. Any more discussion? Please call roll.
David LaMontagne,
Yes.
Nicole Cover,
Yes.
Donald Bailey,
Yes.
Chairman Rick Johnson.
Yes.
Chairman Johnson, you have 4 yeses. Motion passes.
Thank you. All right, we're down to B, state operating license applications and related pre-qualifications. Number 1 is Simply Solar LLC. Comments? Wishes?
I would make a motion to deny the operating license and related pre-qualification for Simply Solar LLC based on section 402(3)A, financial ability and experience to operate or maintain a marijuana facility. Section 402(3)A, responsibility or means to operate or maintain a marijuana facility. Section 402(3)C, the sources and total amount of the applicant's capitalization to operate and maintain the proposed marijuana facility. And section 402(3)E, the applicant has filed or had filed against it a proceeding for bankruptcy within the past 7 years. As evidenced by the applicant failed to provide adequate records to demonstrate an ability to operate a marijuana business in a compliant manner. They also failed to provide adequate records to support the financial transactions and the sales understated on sales tax returns, returns amended after sales ledgers were requested and provided to the department.
Is there support for that?
Support.
Been moved and supported to deny applicant 1, Simply Solar LLC for a provisioning center. Any more discussion?
Mr. Chairman, in addition to those, the BMR enforcement inspection showed us some things that are hopefully are going to be something we don't see a lot of. I'm afraid we may in some of these outfits. There was processing on site, which is in violation of what the licenses they were going for. When they were confronted, when the applicant was confronted on the processing, he basically lied about it, said it wasn't happening, even though it was very clear that a processing operation was set up. And I see that as being a problem, not only for this application, but for other applicants down the road who think they can push the boundaries because no one's standing there over them all the time.
Okay, any other discussion? Excuse me. The motion then is to deny Simply Solar LLC. Please call the roll.
And just to clarify, the motion currently is based on the reasons that were stated originally. If the board wishes to add other reasons, you would want to amend the motion to make sure it's clear.
No, I think it's fine.
Yeah, we're good. Please call the roll.
David Lamontagne,
Yes.
Nicole Cover,
Yes.
Donald Bailey,
Yes.
Chairman Rick Johnson.
Yes.
Chairman Johnson, you have 4 yeses. Motion passes.
Okay, applicant number 2, Uncle Bud's Provisioning Center LLC. This is just for we've already pre-qualified them or no?
No, sir.
No, okay, so it's for pre-qualification and a license. Wishes of the board. I have a question for the Attorney General. There's actually 2 of these on here. You want separate motions for each?
You can use the same motion as long as it's identical for both.
Well, then let's just keep them separate.
I'll make a motion to deny Uncle Bud's Provisioning Center LLC, the Provisioning Center, deny application and related pre-qualification. Based on 4023C, the source and total amount of the applicant's capitalization to operate and maintain the proposed marijuana facility as evidenced by implausible business arrangements to support the capitalization.
Is there support?
Support.
Moved and supported to deny Uncle Bud's Provisioning Center LLC pre-qual and a license. Any more discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
David Lamontagne,
Yes.
Nicole Cover,
Yes.
Donald Bailey,
Yes.
Chairman Rick Johnson.
Yes.
Chairman Johnson, you have 4 yeses. Motion passes.
Number 3, Uncle Bud's Provisioning Center for a Class A grow.
I'll make a motion to deny the application and related pre-qualification for Uncle Bud's provision, our grower, Class A. And I would do that under the same 4023C, the sources and total amount of the applicant's capitalization to operate and maintain the proposed facility. And that is evidenced by the implausible business arrangements to support the capitalization.
There's support.
Support.
Moved and supported to deny Uncle Bud's Provisioning Center applicant number 3, a Class A grow. Any more discussion? Please call the roll.
David Lamontagne,
Yes.
Nicole Cover,
Yes.
Donald Bailey,
Yes.
Chairman Rick Johnson.
Yes.
Chairman Johnson, you have 4 yeses. Motion passes.
Okay. Next, we have number 4, Indigo. That's for a provisioning center and a pre-qualification for a state operating license as well.
Mr. Chairman, I can make a motion to discuss this application before we offer a motion to approve or deny.
Okay, your support. Okay, all in favor, say aye.
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 Open for discussion.
Mr. Chairman, this application started off with one particular applicant. And in May, don't really know the reason why it wasn't explained, but he forfeited his position in the application, invited another applicant in, and so it remains as a two-person application, two supplemental applicants. Notably, the second applicant is a very minor owner, and it didn't make a lot of sense why this applicant would stay in, but then it's explained that the reason that they had to was the city of Ypsilanti had issued a temporary operating permit, and that for that temporary permit to remain in effect, one of the original owners had to remain on the application. And that's why the supplemental applicant RK remained on that application. So after this process has started, the applicant, for reasons we don't know, I don't know if it's important, other than I don't believe that the applicant that we have in front of us is the true applicant. I think this is another straw man situation that we're going to be having to deal with who truly is in charge of this business. That's one of the things we're supposed to be trying to ferret out, the agency, the state police, when they're doing their investigation. I don't know that it was done to the extent that we know that the applicant is the true applicant. I also noticed that in Weed Maps, as far as advertising, we can get our Oreo cookies there, we can get our M&M cookie bars there, we can get our Skittles Fruit Chew Krispies there, and I think that's in direct violation of the marketing that we have in place as far as marketing to children. There's also an issue with taxes. It looks like they've been collecting, according to the documents, the 3% excise tax that nobody else has been. I don't see where that's been remitted, and I don't even know that we're requiring that as yet until you're licensed. So, they've effectively just bumped their profits in this for-profit industry by 3% by collecting a tax that's not being remitted to anybody. That's a problem for me as this application wants to go forward.
Okay, any other discussion? Okay, discussion is done. Anyone wish to make a motion on this?
Mr. Chairman, I'll move to grant the application.
Is there support?
Support.
It's been moved and supported to grant Indiga LLC a license and a pre-qualification.
Ask, just based on some of the concerns, my assumption would be that if anything becomes in violation further, then we would take action accordingly. If the applicant's not there, or there's any of the, don't want to make those assumptions, but if we are on site or have a reason to believe that's true, then that would be a different situation.
Correct. Any violations will be brought to the board's attention.
The department does have the authority to shut it down though, correct, if they're operating not properly?
I would let Mr. Hannah speak to that, the enforcement manager, or Mr. Brisboe.
Yes, we can issue summary suspensions.
Perfect.
Um,
Jim?
Thank
All
you.
right.
Mr. Hannah, regarding your division and the members you have,
Sure.
isn't it about 10 enforcement members for the entire state of Michigan? To address this, because we can't be every.
I would let Mr. Hannah speak to that, the enforcement manager or Mr. Brisboe.
Yes, we can issue summary suspensions.
Jim?
Thank
All right.
Mr. Hannah, regarding your division and the members you have,
Sure.
isn't it about 10 enforcement members for the entire state of Michigan?
I actually just hired one, so I actually have 11.
Oh, sweet, I was way off.
Yeah, huge, right? But let me do some math real quick.
Is that a sufficient number? Be honest.
State government.
Oh, at this, well, give me 2 seconds. A little nervous, excuse me.
No reason to be nervous.
Yeah.
Obviously, my concern is that
Sure.
we're far understaffed to address these things for those people who aren't going to police themselves. That would be great if everybody just did the right thing. We know that's in many cases not going to happen, and that's why we need to be there. When I say we, you, your enforcement team needs to be out there. And 10 people for the entire state of Michigan is a small fraction of what you're going to need.
I'll let you answer, but I'm gonna,
Thanks.
as a board member, I'm gonna speak up because I do sit on another board where we only have 4 and we have a lot of pharmacies in this state. And there are public complaints and there are people that can bring things to the attention, and there's a lot of things that can happen. So I don't know that it's so much the number of people, but that the 11 people are doing diligent work and the department is saying, hey, we have this radar list and we have concerns here and there. So I think it's too early in this process to be concerned with a number, because you can have 5 people that do their job really well, or you can have 11 people that stink at it. And that becomes a performance issue that we have to have faith in the department that they will address that. So I wouldn't get focused on the numbers, because we haven't seen any of that before us to make an assumption that these 11 people cannot do their job. I think it's very early to get wrapped up in a number, but to let the department move forward and make this professional and go accordingly.
I think they can do their job. I just don't think there's enough of them for the job at hand. There was a DEA raid last weekend at a lab in a residential neighborhood. That's not something that Brian's folks are going to deal with. That's for law enforcement. But that lab had 10 55-gallon drums of ethanol and butane in a Breaking Bad style lab set up in a garage in a residential neighborhood. I think law enforcement, the enforcement section of the BMMR is grossly inadequately underfunded and manpowered to address this, because we can't be everywhere.
So what I can say is we do have our 11 staff, and I'm pretty proud of our staff because we've actually picked up very experienced personnel from various avenues of regulation and investigative backgrounds. We've been out there, we've been able to handle everything that the board has asked of us and presented all the information to the board. And then we're moving into a transition process, getting the applicants and licensees, when they become licensees, into the metric system. So we're handling that as well. I do agree that we'll have opportunities for growth and hiring in the future, and I'm looking at certain areas where we'll need to increase personnel, but I'm pretty confident that we've been able to handle all the inspections, all the investigations that have been presented to us, and then get that information to the board.
Thank you.
Yep, thanks.
Any more discussion? The motion is to approve applicant number 4, Indica LLC. Did you want want a moment to get caught up? You ready? That sounds good. Okay, any more discussion? Hearing none, then please call the roll.
David Lamontagne,
Yes.
Vivian Picard,
Yes.
Nicole Cover,
Yes.
Donald Bailey,
No.
Chairman Rick Johnson.
No.
Chairman Johnson, you have 3 yeses, 2 nos. Motion passes.
Okay, next is number 5, MMM of A2 Inc. And that is for both steps, correct? Let me dig it up here. Oh, just for a pre-qualification?
No, sir, it's for both. Pre-qualification state operating license for provisioning center.
Okay, thank you. I don't have that on mine.
I think they're all both except for the last one.
Okay. Thank you. Wishes of the board on number 5, MMM. It's MM, that's great. I love them M&Ms. I like that too. That's my problem. I like candy.
Problem too. Look at the chubby guys in the side.
That's you, Edward. They set us at this end too, don't they? Any discussion on this? Any motions? Hearing none, I'll move to approve MMM of A2 Inc. for a pre-qual and a license. Is there support?
Support.
Moved and supported to approve applicant number 5, MMM of A2 Inc. Open for discussion.
Mr. Chairman, in the line with some other applications that have come before us regarding pre-existing operations, Weed Maps has a happy hours notice for this applicant. Clearly, this is not in the vein of anything medical, which until Tuesday was all we were ever talking about. And that's going under the laws that we had. When we talked about how he sources, how the applicant sources the marijuana to his provisioning center, he sourced it from inside Michigan, including from some caregivers. That clearly shows that he's supporting the black market in taking in product that's not even from caregivers. I think we've gone a long ways to prop up the black market and the quasi black market under temporary operations. I think this is an example of it. Looking at the sales tax, it looks like there's some discrepancies between sales ledgers and taxes paid. So I'm not sure that we really know what the correct answer was, because we have 2 different answers as to what was paid and what was remitted based on sales. There was also a civil litigation that was denied, but just them saying that it wasn't them, I don't know that we know if it was or not. Because we never took another step to find out whether the civil litigation did not involve them. It may not have, but we don't know, because we just simply took their word that it did not without checking it further. And I don't think we did went as far as we should have in checking that out.
Any more discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
David Lamontagne,
Yep.
Vivian Picard,
Yes.
Nicole Cover,
Yes.
Donald Bailey,
No.
Chairman Rick Johnson.
Yes.
Chairman Johnson, you have 4 yeses, 1 no. Motion passes.
Number 6 applicant is Mario Gibson LLC. Same thing for a step 1 and step 2.
I'll make a motion to deny the license application and pre-qualification based on section 402(3)A, financial ability and experience to operate or maintain a marijuana facility. Section 402(3)A, also responsibility or means to operate or maintain a marijuana facility. Section 402(3)C, the sources and total amount of the applicant's capitalization to operate and maintain the proposed marijuana facility. As evidence, the applicant failed to provide adequate records to demonstrate an ability to operate a marijuana business in a compliant manner. The applicant had an implausible business arrangement to support the capitalization, and there is a pattern or history of failure to timely file tax returns and or satisfy tax obligations when due.
Support.
Moved and supported to deny Muriel Gibson a pre-qual and a license. Any more discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll. It is to deny.
David Lamontagne,
Yes.
Vivian Picard,
Yes.
Nicole Cover,
Yes.
Donald Bailey,
Yes.
Chairman Rick Johnson.
Yes,
Chairman Johnson, you have 5 yeses. Motion passes.
thank you. Okay, number 7. Northern Specialty Provisioning Limited Partnership. And this is the one that's just for a step 1, correct?
No,
No,
so
It
it's
has,
Yeah.
oh,
They have pre-
pre-approved last meeting.
we did? Oh, yeah, I guess,
On
okay.
October 29th.
I'll take your word for it. I don't, oh, I guess I do have it right here, sorry. Is there a motion?
Motion to provide the license
For Northern
for
Specialty?
Northern Specialty Provision and Limited Partnership.
Second.
Moved and supported to grant Northern Specialty Provisioning Limited Partnership a license to operate. Any discussion? Way up in Houghton. Oh. Hearing no discussion, please call the roll.
David Lamontagne,
Yes.
Vivian Picard,
Yes.
Nicole Cover,
Yes.
Donald Bailey,
No.
Chairman Rick Johnson.
Yes.
Chairman Johnson, you have 4 yeses, 1 no. Motion passes.
Okay. You want to go back and do the schedule first? Or hear from the director.
Can we skip the director?
You want paid this week?
He's got to get on the score sheets.
Yeah.
Come on out.
And I just want to.
Come on up.
I want to apologize to my colleagues, but for any of you who have may have been listening, there was a major accident on 96 where an individual was killed, and it was 96 was shut down. So,
We understand.
so I apologize to my colleagues.
Quite all right. Andrew, I guess you're up, Mr. Director.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Not a lot of updates since a week or so ago when we last met, but I do have statistics that are updated as of 11/2. We're up to 819 pre-qualification applications that have been submitted and paid for now. As of today's meeting now, 139 have been approved and 83 denied, and we do have 26 that are inactive. In terms of the license types for grower A, we have 32 submitted, 1 approved and 2 denied. Grower B, 6 submitted, none yet appearing before the board. Grower C, 197 submitted, 11 approved and 2 denied. Processors, 53, 8 approved, 0 denied. 193 provisioning centers, 40 approved, 27 denied. Secure transporters, 12 submitted, 3 approved, none denied. Safety compliance facilities, 7 submitted, 4 approved, 0 denied. And we do have 9 inactive license applications, step 2 applications as well. And we are still at 108 municipalities that have adopted ordinances to authorize facilities.
You're a great man.
Any questions about any of that? Yes, sir.
Ed, oh, go ahead.
You mentioned the 11 Class Cs.
Yes.
Is that applicants or is that 11 licenses?
11 licenses
Okay.
have been issued. Yep. You have a question, Mr. Chairman?
Yeah, I'll get that. Yeah, how many did we, I missed the total denied.
For which category?
For the whole works, you give us a denial, I thought, didn't you?
Yeah.
83?
Was
So-
it 83? Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
with
just-
83 pre-qualifications have been denied, yes.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome. We did issue one advisory bulletin since the last meeting with our partners at the Bureau of Fire Safety, Bureau of Fire Services, I think they're called now. On 11/2 was about fire-rated separations for facilities. That's been an issue that's arisen a couple times in inspection, so getting some clarity out there on fire ratings for walls between facilities and other businesses. And also just wanted to draw attention that up on our website now, we've been getting a lot of calls and inquiries, media and otherwise, regarding facilities that are licensed and getting a list of those. And if you go to our website at michigan.gov/BMMR, there's a big button that says verify a license. You can go there, you can either filter by, you can search for a specific name, you can filter by type, or you can just click search and a list of all licensed facilities will appear there. Obviously that list continues to grow, but there are several parameters. You can use to filter that. And right on our homepage at michigan.gov/BMMR, there's also a link to a map of licensed facilities in Michigan that has a legend, so you can see the types of licenses. And if you can filter that by type as well. And I believe you can click on the link to see more detailed information about that facility. So trying to provide that information more proactively for anyone who wants to see where the facilities are.
Okay, and then do we put the denials up too or no?
We are in the process. We would put the denial orders up when they're final. So many of them are still in process. If they requested a public investigative hearing, it's not final until it comes back to the board. There are a few that did not request a public investigative hearing, so those are final. So we need to wrap those up and issue those orders, but those are intended to be published on the website as well.
Okay, thank you. What about, I know I've just been asked by a board member. My assumption is we don't have to worry about what was passed Tuesday in Prop 1. Is there anything that comes, like for instance, I was told, I didn't believe this, but in order for them to do a recreational, do they have to have a medical license first?
For certain license types, that's true, yes.
Oh,
And that's in the ballot proposal, the language indicated. I don't want to misstate the types, but it's there. That for the first 2 years, they have to have been licensed under the MMFLA to qualify under the ballot initiative. That can be reduced to a year, I believe, by rule. So I mean, that's indirectly, that would be the impact on this board.
okay. Thanks, Director. Any other questions?
Regarding, there's a there's a court hearing tomorrow regarding the temporary restraining order. And right now, we have multiple systems for marijuana. There's the caregiver patient system that's still in existence and has not been touched in any way. There's the licensing, which is what we're doing here. There's also the temporary operators, and there's also the black market that's only thriving and is going to get even bigger yet. But with this temporary restraining order that allows all those pre-existing operations to continue, aren't we putting the licensed applicants at a distinct disadvantage in the whole process?
I mean, that's a matter of
Not us,
perspective, I guess.
not us. The effect of the court.
I don't really want to comment on the pending litigation.
Okay.
But
Okay,
I understand your point.
thank you.
And just one point to the earlier discussion about staffing levels, we continue to evaluate the staffing levels as it relates to Mr. Hanna's team. They have met all established metrics for inspection timeframes. They're on those extremely quickly. There's not been one application that's been held up being presented to the board because of any delay in inspection. We typically do those initial inspections as well as re-inspections, which are very often required, both through BMMR as well as the Bureau of Fire Safety or Fire Services. And we continue to receive complaints and conduct those investigations as well, and they're all done timely within the time frame we expect. As we get more and more facilities online and licensed, we can scale up operations as necessary as long as we stay within our appropriation. So I feel very comfortable where we are with staffing within the entire agency. But we do have the one benefit of the mechanisms by which we fund the agency through the regulatory assessment and the application fees, is we do have some degree of control over establishing revenue that's necessary to support the operation of the program. Obviously subject to, the appropriation bills through the legislature, but I feel as though we're adequately funded at this time and adequately staffed as well, and we'll continue to evaluate that continuously to ensure that we can meet the demand.
Thank you.
Any other questions for the director? Okay, we need a motion to untable what we started out early on the board schedule. Someone wish to make that?
Make a motion, Mr. Chairman.
I support. It's moved and supported to untable the scheduling for 2019. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, before us then is number 6, old business, board scheduling availability for 2019. I think we have something here showing that, don't we, somewheres? Maybe not. Yeah, we do. Not to put you on the spot, Vivian, but I know you're looking right now. Take your
I
time.
think I gave her mine at the last. Do you
Motion
have mine from
required would
last?
be to lock the dates in, right? So you need a motion to lock the dates in. I'll make the motion.
Yep.
I noted those two incorrect dates on it.
Yeah, the 20.
Okay, those have been changed.
Yes.
So
Okay.
you said that. I gave you that. Do you have that copy? All right, that's okay.
Do you have the dates and that needs to be,
I have
Approved.
everyone's but Vivian's right now.
no, we still, we're going to get to that, but what we need to do is to lock in the dates for 2019.
That's not,
I think that's what Vivian's
this
pulling
here.
up.
Yep.
Okay. But I did give it at the last meeting.
You actually didn't. You said, oh, the dates are
No,
wrong.
there
I'm
was
gonna
two.
wait."
No,
Okay.
there was two.
Okay.
That was wrong, but she had all of the others. But I'll do it and give it to you.
Perfect.
Okay. I did give it to her.
Yeah, you're going to be okay.
Mhm.
Okay, do you have a list of the dates, Kelly?
Are these the dates?
Yep.
Okay.
They are? I thought there was more. Oh, okay. We had choices, I thought, but okay. Okay, these are the dates right here then before us, January 10th through November 14th. Can't believe I agreed to that one. But I did.
we
Oh,
ain't doing
and-
nothing on the 14th. I'm gonna sleep in the stand somewhere.
I think it's called,
I know
You
what it's called.
I see we also have 3 on the second page as well through December 19 of 2019. So
Motion on the table, Mr. Chairman.
is there support to approve these dates? Support, then I'll support it.
They are numbered. Can we come back to this, please?
We'll go ahead and
Okay.
we'll wait.
All right.
We're just ready to go.
Public.
No pressure.
After
Yeah,
the
no
public
pressure.
one.
There's one card.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're really slow today. We can do that though.
After the
Let's,
public.
we'll do public comment, let that motion set on the table for the moment. Again, keep your comments away from applications and whatnot, but do we have any cards? Uh, Adam Goldberg, am I saying it right? Adam, floor is yours.
Testing, thank you. Hello, my name is Adam Goldberg. I represent Evergreen Logistics Secure Transport. I first want to thank the board and the department and everyone else involved for your hard work. We're moving along. So we've been in the pipeline for quite some time. We received our pre-qualification in October, and we're excited to appear before the board again next month. I've got two comments for you today.
You wouldn't talk about that.
Okay, I've got two comments for you today. I think it would be in everyone's best interest if applicants, after they've received their pre-qualification, to be able to receive the metric training. Acquainting us with metric will help us hit the ground running once we receive full licensure. And needless to say, it would help the entire industry move along a little more smoothly. If you have security concerns, I would say that if an applicant has passed your thorough background check and review and is deemed qualified to operate a marijuana facility, it only makes sense that they could receive the metric training. My second point is that, as I understand it, the way things stands now, the cultivator and processor are the ones who determine the routes to be taken by the transporter. While I understand that this might stem from metric copy and pasting their system from other states to ours, I think I don't think I need to point out how ridiculous this is. If you're going to mandate that an independent third party be charged with all transport needs, they should, of course, be the ones determining the routes taken. The determination of routes is ultimately a question of logistics, and I think we can all agree that cultivators and processors should not be preoccupied with the question of logistics. They have a high quality product and compliance to pursue. Thank you.
Thank you. Is that it?
That's it.
That's it?
Hands up.
Okay, how we doing?
Finished?
Finished? Okay. Okay, the motion is to approve the dates presented here so they can put it up on the website. Any discussion at all?
Mr. Chairman, we're not approving every day, but we're going to select from these dates.
One a month,
One a month.
What am
based
I?
on your availability.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mhm.
So for January, can we do January 16th? Is that a yes for everyone?
Good for me.
I can only do the morning. Maybe
Okay.
a 9:30 meeting. I can't.
Okay.
Yeah, they're marked AM only.
February, March, and April are AM only for me.
Right. Yep, that's how they're marked, so.
So the 14th or the 21st,
Of
February,
either,
21st? It's better for Nicole.
that's good.
Okay. March.
Fourteenth or March 23rd.
It'd be nice
Do you want to amend
basically
your
4 weeks
motion to
apart
have
if we could do that.
Or am I go
If
through
that
that,
does work out.
the different ones and then select?
March 21st.
I did too, but
March 21st, good for everyone?
Morning, it'd have to be morning for me.
Okay.
You,
April 25th?
Yes.
April 25th.
May, we have a scheduling conflict for May 16th
I'm not available.
and then May 23rd.
I cannot do the 23rd.
could I suggest that the staff go through this, pick the dates as close to, you have all our
Yes.
availabilities and then put that out. That's all right with a motion maker.
Yes.
Okay with me that way. You can make contact because we,
Can we go to a different date in May since the 16th and the 23rd will not work? Can you come back with another date for us?
Yeah, I
in
can
May?
try and look up
Okay.
Williams for another date.
So can we set the whole year and leave off May and then
That's
come
what-
back to,
that's what Dave and
That's
I
what
are
we're
talking
doing.
about.
come
Mhm.
back next meeting and
We
add it?
need to, yep. Or they can come up with one to make it work.
So June 13th, is that a good date? Everyone?
Yep.
July 11th or 17th? I'm sorry, July 17th.
Good here.
Or I guess we can just do it now if you'd like.
I guess that's what we're doing. I like this 'cause we have candy.
Sure.
I
August
wouldn't.
14th.
They're not cooperating.
Was it July 11th or 17th? 17th?
17th.
Okay.
And August, which one is that?
I would think 14th, just based on timing. 'cause
Yeah.
The 8th is a
Okay.
pretty quick turnaround for the department.
Okay. The 14th.
Comment card.
Yeah,
All right.
we're done with that.
September 12th or 19th.
I will drop the gavel.
And we come back for a different date in September as well.
Okay.
In
October
October.
October 24th. So September and May are the only months we don't have.
Correct. No,
Yeah. November.
November, December.
November, December.
November 14th or 21st.
All of
21st,
those are
maybe.
good right now.
21st.
If you're doing October 24th,
So what is in November, it's what?
21st.
And then December, can we do the 19th?
Yep, I can do that.
21st.
okay.
December 19th.
December 19th.
Okay. And I'll resend those out to you guys to confirm everything for the March and the February.
Thank you.
Yep.
Okay.
They won't be enough.
Okay.
Okay, the motion is to approve the dates except May and, is it October or September?
September.
September. Hearing no more discussion,
Read those dates off if you'd like.
we got them.
Okay.
But
Go ahead.
maybe for everybody else.
Well, they'll put it on and put it
Okay.
on the website, so. Please call the roll on approving the dates for next year's meetings.
Who made the motion?
David, I approved, or I seconded.
Okay. David LaMontagne,
Yes.
Vivian Picard,
Yes.
Nicole Cover,
Yes.
Donald Bailey,
Yes.
Chairman Rick Johnson.
Yes.
Chairman Johnson,
Oh, see, I told you.
motion passes.
He's walking on thin ice. Is it Jim? Or Jim, and I'm not, you go ahead and you can announce your last name, but,
Jim Shawman, I'm a CPA, Saginaw County.
okay.
The question is, I thought I
Well, we
heard-
won't answer any question, but you can throw it out there.
Excuse me, the comment was, actually, it was a question. I was trying to determine if it's considered normal, if we're going to have a pre-approval in October, that it would be until December to get to approval possibility.
I guess that's really up to the applicant and the staff. We just deal with them when they get here. I'm not opposed to that, but I mean, that's. It's
You
really
can
up
direct
to the-
questions.
Yeah, we really don't like answering those here. This is public comment, but I will tell you that they'll get back to you on that. They being the staff.
The timeline depends, and you can talk to the department to get more information on how the process works.
Sure, said that. You guys were down there not cooperating. In trouble. That's for you. Good job, Bill.
Oh, thank you. Okay, motion to adjourn.
Motion.
It's moved and supported to adjourn. Please call the roll on that.